Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we look at Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy came out 5 years ago, and because of that, it is its 5th year anniversary, and it somehow got an update. Now, in particular, I think we're going to start seeing this more often for games on Steam, because Windows 10 was so heavily pushed by Microsoft, forcing anybody who really wants to play a modern game to be on Windows 10, that after about a year or two allowed Steam to drop support for Windows XP, and eventually I think Steam is going to show more and more your computer is not compatible with this old software because this old software is not Windows 10 compatible, type warnings, that to keep your game relevant and keep your game playable, people aren't going to be able to just shovel out very old games and not update them. I think the game development community is going to have to actually commit to that. So that's kind of what happened here. There are some other things that have been done. The game has, I guess notably for achievement hunters, added a new achievement that requires you to beat the entire game in less than 15 airs, and I'll explain that later once we jump in. It's added new language supports, or updated language supports, generally updated the game, and I think most notably it has added donation boxes where you can donate money to increase the stats of your character. You can see over on the right, there's a health and mana, armor, weight, strength, intelligence, all of that listed for each character. My Lady Lisa, the 11th, is a level 230 paladin. If you don't want to play the game to get the new achievement, and you already have 100% achievements, and you want to maintain that, so Steam does highlight that the creator of this game has, for a limited time, allowed a cheat to be done, where if you press the left alt button, then the caps lock, then the T button, it'll just give you that achievement. For me, I don't have all the achievements anyways, because there are some super hard post-game optional bosses that I never beat, and apparently I never found all the blueprints, and apparently I didn't mock the traitor, which is the description of the other achievement I don't have. Otherwise I have everything else. And frankly, getting achievements on Steam doesn't really mean anything, and you would be better off had you played this game 5 years ago to hop back in the game and try to get the achievement legitimately, because now you have some added value to continue playing this game. And this certainly was a long game as a roguelite game where you certainly could play it a lot. You can see I'm at Air +2 already, which means I've beaten the game twice already anyways. There's been a couple of other traits, maybe we'll see them. Let's hop in here and see what we're given. I'm not sure that the traits, not the traits, but the stats were in the game before. And the idea of having a bunch of gold, particularly 5 years after the game has come out, and theoretically if you've played this game to death and you've unlocked everything, there might not be anything else you can upgrade. You may be sitting on a ridiculous amount of gold. So donating that to your next run is an interesting idea. On the other hand, I believe when I last played this game, which you can go to my YouTube channel, click the playlist tab, and search out a playlist to see all the videos before this, I believe they were kind of getting ready to start development or start making some announcements for a sequel to this game. I could be dreaming that, frankly, but if that is the case, they, instead of announcing something with this update, they just gave out the update. I honestly think Rogue Legacy 2 would make a lot more sense than putting out an update 5 years later, because 5 years is a good amount of time to develop a sequel. This game needs a different castle, a new collection of enemies, a new collection of characters. Try to do something a little bit different with it. Maybe play as the bad guys this time or something like that. Let's go ahead and re-roll and see if we get any of the new stats. Like, there's traits, certainly, but none of these are new traits, unfortunately. So 2 new traits when there are so many previous traits that already existed. That really doesn't help anything, and you can't even see the traits. Let's see, left to view the family tree. It's not really a family tree, it's more of a portrait hallway, a lineage of portraits. Let's see, and we'll just sure you want to begin a new adventure with this chosen hero. Sure. So I don't believe there was anything added here, and you can see right now that I don't have a lot of extra gold. This upgrade would be 4,000. I have 573. This final upgrade, it would be 9,000. This upgrade for the equipment would be 3,590. Clearly what happened was once I beat the game, I kind of lost any desire to continue playing the game after probably putting at least 60 hours into the game. Like, health upgrades is 3,000, mana upgrades 3,000, critical damage upgrades is 3,000, and 3,000. And look at the level that I'm at for some of these upgrades. This is 4 out of 25. There's probably at least 100,000 gold of upgrades that I just have not purchased. Attack up is 5,000, and you don't even really need it. The other thing that is a problem with introducing an update to a game that's 5 years old, particularly one that's such a controller-based, well, platforming game, is there's no way that most people are... I'm not sure you could have toggled this on and off before. Yeah, I'm not sure that most people will remember how to play the game. So that's certainly an issue. We can go back to the manor. And let's see. These are the blueprints that I don't think any of these are new. I simply think I just didn't find everything. Blueprints are pretty extremely rare. These are the charms, I believe is what they were called, and there's probably another 50 to 60,000 gold that would be required to beat the game, and all I have equipped right now are enemies scale slower, so that allows the enemies to be at a lower level as I continue down here. And this is the architect where you can pay him, I think it's half your gold. If you lock down the castle, and at this point I get 60% of the amount of gold, and this guy is going to take half of my money. So just enter, and then you get a randomly generated building. So A button sticks to jump, B button is to hit. So we can hit the back to see our map as it's randomly generated. There are no new diary entries. There's definitely a lot of things here you could ask for. You have to get really good at doing the downward swipe. This is actually kind of not standard required movement in a platformer. So you're a little bit floaty. And you're getting about 25 gold for every 1 coin. So the 250 I just lost, it's not likely to happen. These are pictures of other games the developer made, and I've already taken a lot of health. Also, I have, let's see, Y does that, and B does that, and B uses magic. So the developer has developed a new game. It doesn't look amazingly interesting, honestly. It's certainly not in the same realm. There's 250, so I'm back to where I was. The question, I guess, is where's the donation checks? Because I don't see it. See, I am right, I think, at the beginning of a new run where so the donation chest may very well be hidden behind beating the final boss. Despite the game being slightly awkward in its controls, this is still a really good game. I can totally see wanting to play this. Arguably, now you probably want something like this on a cell phone. Defeat all enemies, I can do that. For this fairy chest. As if I don't run out of... So, stat increase found. That's nice, I suppose. You never really get beyond needing at least 2 hits. Stat increase plus 15. I don't think I'm supposed to be getting stat increases this high, so maybe the game has been rebalanced in a certain way. This will take me into an extremely dangerous area that I am not prepared for. And I've chosen my death, clearly. Because it's highly unlikely I'm gonna make it out alive out of the Maya. If I had more magic, I could do this, but I don't have enough magic. So I'd have to not take any damage. And of course, I am gonna do that. So there's this Maya area, which is kind of somewhat dusty attic, water themed. It's more of a humid, dusty attic, I would say, than an actual water theme. So if they were gonna go with new themes, I think water might be one of it. Maya is not as bad as the hell themed area, which I think is called the basement or something, but it is the second most difficult area, excluding just the boss himself. This game is so around just slashing the X button over and over again. A pretty good run there, considering everything. Let's see. No, that's just the credits. So that was Lady Victoria that we just played as, and we can see that, and then we just go here and we're back to selecting somebody. Let's see. And for the most part you just kind of want to pick something. This one, let's just take this one, I guess. And so one run got me 4,000, and so you're not in the worst position ever to upgrade and just do a run. So for every upgrade, let's say you're at a good chance of, if you do a good run, getting one upgrade. There's 12, 15, 19, yeah. I would say there's roughly estimating at least 150 more runs of this game you would have to do to upgrade all of these things. And throwing in all of this other stuff. This is weird. Apparently I don't even have that sword unlocked because I don't think it helps anything. Of course, it probably, if I can afford to purchase something, I should purchase it at this point. However, every time you do purchase something, it increases the cost of purchasing everything else, which is kind of an awkward system. And of course I can do this to lock down the place. Not that that was a particularly good layout. So notice that you don't get the building thing, the animation there, because it's not regenerating. We're on the same map, which that's helpful if you're close to something. Yeah, there's a tower, a forest area. The castle area that you start in is the easiest. The forest area is the second easiest. The tower is the third easiest, and the dungeon is the hardest. In each of those 4 areas, including the castle area, there's a boss you have to beat. Once you beat those bosses, they are permanently defeated, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, and then you can take on the final boss and this door opens. Yeah, I think it's pretty permanent until you do New Game Plus, because it would be asking too much of most players to have you beat all 4 of the bosses in one run and take on the final boss. The final boss alone is a little bit more difficult than the other bosses, and certainly you're gonna have runs where you're just killed. So that's a pathetic example. But notice that was a level 231 character, so it seems like every time you play a level, you go up a level. Let's see. The two traits that were added, well, one of them was face blindness, with a fancy word for explaining face blindness, basically. And the other was, what was the other one? It doesn't seem like we're going to get to the donation box, though. Seems like that's not something for, like, if I was to hit start right now, and then hit this, doesn't seem like there's anything I can do. If I had some of these white teleporters unlocked, alright. So this dragon flies around and doesn't swing a sword at all. Instead, what he does is he has a regenerating health and both B and X use the magic attack. That inherently means Y drops you down to the ground and A drops you down to the ground if you're not flying. It also means I can't take on these people who are throwing things at me. And you certainly can still screw it up. Remember, I only have a limited amount of magic, though, so there's I'm almost dead already just because of the way this is set up. But you certainly are getting a decent amount of money, so it feels like this game has been rebalanced to be maybe a little bit easier. I have 2 out of 240 health left. So, yeah, I imagine if you were new to the game, this would, and there actually has been a rebalancing of just how much gold you get, that would be great. Okay, so this is one of the new traits. You can't tell people apart. Prospagnosia. And honestly, I'm not sure it comes to the level of an actual medical diagnosis, but I think I personally have this, where I just sometimes can't recognize people's faces that I should be able to recognize. Most people would just call it bad with faces, though. So let's take this new trait and see if we can upgrade anything. Probably can't. See if we can buy something. I hope that was what was equipped before. So a new person, new build, new run. Always do the same room. I think one of the flaws of the design of this room in particular is it's just too big. Wandering around or having to run through that room at the beginning of each run is kind of crazy. I believe this was one of those games that was made by either a single person or a small team. It's quite an amazing game. Well, definitely one of a generation of games that started to really show PC indies have a place and a future. It's not all just about AAA games. At least that became apparent to me when this game was starting to come out. Other games, for instance, like Binding Isaac, big fan favorites. This is also a game that arguably is more attuned to regular players versus people who are the mainstream video game critics, because a mainstream video game critic is not going to really remember it's not going to really play a game like this to its fulfillment, to even the finish. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people who criticize this game only played it for a few hours and that was kind of it. So now you're getting the effect of that trait from the previous character. This lady couldn't recognize faces, so that means now you can't see the traits of the next generation. So if you select this character with this trait, you potentially cause yourself trouble in the future, and re-rolling doesn't fix it. But certainly it does seem like you can just keep on playing. Unfortunately, I just have so many games that it doesn't make a lot of sense to keep on playing this. One more achievement, which kind of makes you restart, or the donation boxes, which I would have to get to one of the cyber bosses, I think, and the odds of me just randomly getting to one is rather low. Notice the swords can go through everything, but I'm gonna die if I'm not careful. And their attacks, if their hands are right in the wall, will attack through the wall. And anything I kill doesn't help me any, because I can't jump up high enough to get into place. So I'm just killing things for no reason. I'd have to be short to get in there and collect that. So this whole room is pointless for a regular heighted character. And there's no generic like bonus for beating everybody in a room, where I think maybe that could be a trait, or just by default the way things are done, or a new gameplay mode or something that play completionist. You can't leave the rooms until you've beaten everybody. This game certainly plays around the ideas that sometimes you actually just cannot beat them. So this is a level 90 Baron, by the way. I'm a level 232. The point, the reason why I have all of those. Right, so. Let's see if this guy's gonna hit me. Nope. I'm not gonna make it. Those are little sub-bosses. The point of the items that I have equipped is to keep characters at low levels, and level 90 is still clearly way too it's just how would you say it? Even at level 90, they're way too difficult. And this game really builds around the idea of just not really not really unlocking these things to help you win as much as just getting good at the game. Notice that a lot of upgrades were not needed to beat the game the first time, and these characters are at level 90 in New Game plus 2, so they would have been even at lower base levels before. Which I guess that brings out an interesting question. Let's see something here. Let's change our profile from level 232 New Game plus 2 to just a completely new game. So this is the beginning of the game. It's a tutorial section. You really don't need probably to do all of this. I don't think there's really even an achievement or any gold you get. So this area is the boss area. If you were playing for the first time, this would be the point where they tell you you can attack somebody. And what level was that guy at? Probably level 1. If I was to guess, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be at level 1. It seems like you're getting a decent amount of gold, even in the first playthrough. See, this mechanic is so built into this game, you'd want to see at least one new mechanic in Rogue Legacy 2 built around that. But I'd like to play very well. You're getting kind of examples of everything that you'll normally see, and then you make it to the final boss room where the king is, and then you kill the king. And see, there's demons and a cup of life, and so you really don't have anything other choice, so you kill the king. And so that's your tutorial. Start your legacy now. So I'm at level 0. I have 0 gold. Everything I picked up earlier doesn't matter. I need 50 gold to unlock the smithy and unlock things. This is a level 2 practice dummy, and you can just enter the first time without paying anything. So what do we start collecting? 10 gold. Yeah. And trees, I don't think any of these journals change. So I don't feel like you're gonna have too much of a different experience playing this game right now, brand new, compared to if you had played it when it first came out. There will be a few little things different, but inherently everything just scales up with you, so it always takes 2 hits to kill the enemies. This isn't one of those games that I tend to enjoy where you get really, really overpowered and can kill even bosses in 1-hit kills. You don't really get experience, so the idea of the enemies scaling with you is not beneficial in any way. It's just how the game is. And see, I don't think I have any traits or anything right now. Yeah, you're still getting decent amounts of gold though. It's not like you're getting 20 gold for a bag of gold. And see, if I see a room like this, there's a chance that I'll run into a room with a boss in it. Like, I honestly don't know what the boss is since it's random each time. Here we go. So, theoretically, this would be the lowest level this boss is ever going to be at. And of course, I'm not a speedrunner. Kind of surprised I even made it this far. And this boss is at level 30. And at that level, while we're doing bullet hell dodging, I die pretty quickly there. Certainly not a bad roll, and so that's a level 0 knight, 100% base stats. It would have been nice had I been able to actually beat that boss to see if there is a donation box that appears at that point, or if the donation box, which is mentioned in the update, is somewhere else. The spikes I died on, by the way, this PAD will help you with that because it won't set them off. But to get the new achievement you added, in the next 14 playthroughs, I would have to beat the game. And you can see I'm constantly dying here. That's not likely to happen at all. So you've got to unlock classes, you've got to upgrade things, you've got to unlock more things. Certainly some of the skill is still there, but honestly, if you want to get that achievement, I think you're going to have to spend some extra effort. And play this game to completion and become an expert at it. And the game really asks you to be an expert. Let's just skip all that. Some of the noises here, not great. I'm now a level 7. So clearly the level isn't just your run number. So that makes more sense. I could get that one, but I'd have to find all the blueprints for the other things. Let's see, this guy has a trait where he can't read things. Now, the reason why I want to lock down this, and here's this guy, and he'll take all your money. So you have to upgrade things so he only takes 60% of your money too, so take that into account. Losing all of your money is not a great move. But I can teleport, however, to this. Now, this chest is... these chests are already open. However, this one will always give you mana, and this one will always give you life. Of course, there's no reason why I should have taken that right then. So, 8 lives potentially. It probably is a lot more than that. And see, that was a wasted life, and you really can't go back and fix that too. So, I think you'd almost have to cheat to get the achievement, or just be really, really good. So, yeah, there's not a lot more to say about this. 5 years, the game is still good. You now have a reason to go back and play Rogue Legacy. Whether it is to complete your new game +2. I believe it's +2 right now because you get an achievement for beating the game at least twice. Or that's where you start unlocking the super difficult cyber boss remixes. Super difficult bosses, whatever they're called. Yeah, 5 years in, sort of a good reason to go back and play Rogue Legacy, particularly if you haven't ever played it before. This is going to be your best experience so far to play it, even if starting a new game isn't going to really show you any new content until you beat the game once. That being said, I really would have preferred Rogue Legacy 2 to be announced over there being an update to Rogue Legacy 1. Maybe this is the beginning of an announcement. I would say go back and look at my playlist and see what I said about the game originally. I probably am not going to change my opinion too much on that, but also I don't really remember what I said. It's been a long time and I've played a lot of other games, and inherently that's why I'm not going to play Rogue Legacy now, is that it's been a long time and I have a lot of other games to play. It's very difficult for me to ever come back and play a game unless it's something I haven't made footage of. Like, I am on my channel playing a lot of games I played on the Xbox 360 before I became a YouTuber, and so that does happen, certainly, but there's been a good 5 years plus of space between that time, and there definitely are games that I would like to go back and play. Like, there is the Talos Principle DLC. I played the Talos Principle basically when it came out, and because of that, the DLC wasn't available at that point, and because of that, I've never gotten around to playing that. Same is true for the Witcher 3 DLC, and I'm sure several other games DLC. DLC for me does not work very well. It either puts me in one or two categories. I become the sucker who played the game too early and misses out on content, or I become the sucker who played the game too late and thus my videos aren't relevant to YouTube and its recommendation algorithm. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Maybe we'll get some more news. There really hasn't been a roguelite game to replace Rogue Legacy. I've certainly thought about playing some other roguelike games. They often turn out to have ugly graphics, a boring gameplay style, or just have a little bit wrong with it. Things like Dead Cells, not really out of beta yet, so maybe I would play that then once it is out of beta. But a lot of other ones are just top-down hack and slash things, closer to probably what the original Rogue game was, but not what I liked. In fact, for me, Rogue Legacy is the establishing touchstone, and I would like to see more games like Rogue Legacy, or I guess maybe a Rogue Castlevania style game, which is kind of what this is. It's half Castlevania and half Rogue. Anyways, that's it for this recording. I end all my recordings the same way. I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and comment, because all of those things help me with YouTube and tell them that my videos are worth watching. When you subscribe, click the notification bell so you have a chance of actually getting notifications. If you want to friend or follow me, and I'm asking you to, friend and follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Facebook, Steam, or Battle.net. All of those links are down below in the description box. And if you want to support my channel, right now I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list, or gift me a gift card so I have more games to cover. Even though I know I said I have tons of games to play, the more I have, the more variety I can make, the better I can line up things. If I don't have that library to select from, I can't have consistent themes or comparisons between similar types of games. And frankly, there's a lot of very new games that are rather expensive to try and purchase as a YouTuber who's not really making any money on this. The other thing is, if you get a Steam code and from like a store like Humble Bundle, you can just direct message that to me through Twitter, and that would be very helpful. And yeah, that's about it. So Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.